on position, things could have been a lot different in this case. And the NTSB says it investigated a lot of different things recovered from the crash site. A lot of them were worthless, but one of them was not. It investigated the iPhone of the pilot of the jet, which was recovered in somewhat good condition, so they were able to look at some of the contents on it as part of their investigation. This crash happened a little over a year ago in that Gaithersburg neighborhood. At the time, the NTSB said it could be about a year before they would finish their investigation. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Tom Rousey, ABC 7 News.
All right, thank you, Tom. Another sad day on Wall Street with all three stock markets closing down. At one point in the day, the Dow plunged 540 points, but it did rebound to close. It still fell nearly 250 points at the close, though. The Nasdaq dropped on more than 5 points. The S&P ended 22 points down.
All right, well, let's get back now to our winter weather alert today. Maryland road crews are bracing for lots of overtime. They're trying to keep local roads passable no matter what the weather brings.
And those crews say that despite the bleak forecast, things are working in their favor, actually. Maryland Bureau Chief Brad Bell live in Beltsville to explain that. Brad?
Yeah, Leon, so we're at the Salt Dome here, Prince George's County Salt Dome, and the guys that have been working here all day have gone home to get some rest, to get ready. But we saw them filling this thing with salt, because the bottom line is, if you're going to get a snowstorm that you need a yardstick to measure, then you're going to need an awful lot of this stuff, an awful lot of salt. The good news is they have plenty. From the Port of Baltimore to the Salt Dome in Beltsville. A steady parade of dump trucks carrying a blizzard of salt. Prince George's County Department of Public Works crews doing their version of stocking up on supplies in advance of the blizzard, ton upon ton of road salt. Plow truck operators heading home to rest up for what could be an intense 48 hours. Before this salt begins to fly, state highway crews will begin pre-treating roads with liquid brine at about 9 p.m. tonight, and that work will continue tomorrow. The good news is that snow removal budgets are in good shape, and there is plenty of salt.
We actually mobilized last season 18 events. We've only mobilized once this season, and so we're in very good shape.
And the timing of this storm helps?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's going to be happening on a weekend, but it still requires us to put the same amount of energy and resources out as we would any other time.
Yeah, the bottom line is if we get all that snow, they're still going to have to plow it. It will be easier for them since they won't have to deal with a rush hour. One other request we heard was in advance, people in residential areas, if they could all park, if they normally park on the street, park on the even side. That helps with plowing. So this kind of salt is going to start spreading before the snowflakes fall. Tonight, you're going to start seeing that liquid brine treatment on all the highways so that they can at least try to mitigate the pain that we're all going to feel. In Beltsville, Brad Bell, ABC 7 News. Back.
All right. Thank you, Brad.
Mitigate the pain. That could be our theme for the next few days.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So we've got two things working. First, in the here and now, we have a cold front, little disturbance coming through tonight, maybe some snow, and then quiet day tomorrow, and then the main event on Friday with a blizzard watch in effect. So let's start with what's happening right now and in the short term. Steve Rudin has the latest on the snow.
And right now, Doug, snow already falling in Frostburg at Frostburg State University. This is on our Weather Bug Network. 19 degrees there right now with winds out of the north-northeast at 2 miles per hour. Look at this, a winter weather advisory set to go into effect in about another 40 minutes or so. It does include the district, all of southern Maryland, Prince George's County, Fairfax, and Arlington. 1 to 2 inches of snow expected as we move through the next 6, 7, 8 hours or so. But this is nothing compared to what's on the way as we move through the next several days. Temperatures across the board, 30 Leesburg, Frederick at 27, BWI Marshall now at 29. Head down to Andrews looking at 28 degrees. Satellited radar, there's the light snow that's beginning to move into western Maryland. All this moves our way to the east, and we are going to look for the snow flurries, the snow showers to come to an end a little bit after midnight tonight, and then tomorrow manage to see a pretty nice day out there. Snowfall totals, not a whole lot, maybe a ½ inch or so. Some areas, this is the latest computer model for you, but we're going to call anywhere from maybe a ½ inch to 2 inches some locations. But the big story, the storm that's going to arrive here Friday afternoon, it's still well a ways off, just over Denver. That's where the area of low pressure is.